Funlola. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Funlola. Yinka, hi. Can you hear me? Yinka, can you hear me?
Yeah, Bimbo, hi, how are you?
I thank you. I don't know why my video is not working.
I thought I needed to register, so I was still trying to register. I didn't know it would bring me in immediately.
Maybe because it's almost 4. And
Okay.
I've just asked them to let more people to open the meeting early, so that
Okay.
those of us that want to join early can join. I'm trying to do my video and to finish the screen that I want to share.
All right.
Okay.
Shebi, you're the one reading their profile.
Read it. You know what it is. I'm in the UK and I'm in environment, the house. I'm not sure how the internet works and all those kind of things. So mo try láti ṣe ṣá.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Hi, Belle. How are you? Yeah. Good afternoon. Sorry to disturb you. So we're in now. I was calling you to let us in early because the members of the committee and the speakers, we want them to join early, but it's fine now. Oh, okay. So are you going to stay with us through the meeting? Okay, good. Okay, so okay, no problem. You can make me a host so that at least we can share screens. Thank you. Bye. Equals Pepe, thank you.
Good afternoon, Senior Bimbo. Good afternoon, Senior Yinka.
Good afternoon.
I'll be making you a host.
Good afternoon.
Yinka, please read the profile. I'm not able to. I've just put the pictures on the screen, but I can put Funlola's own, but Nkechi's own is by PDF. In fact, okay, let me just try it. But if I can't, Yinka, please, you read it. Can you hear me, Yinka?
Yes, Bimbo, I said which sharing the screen?
It's me.
Do you have someone to share the screen?
No.
Okay, you will have it on the screen. I'll read it. Or
No,
I should
I'm
read it
not
from my
sure. That's
phone?
my
Is that what you
problem. I'm
expect?
not sure I can add it from the screen. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
That means I'll need to
That's the problem.
let me quickly log on. Let me log in with my laptop. Just give me a few minutes.
No, you don't
So
even
that
need to
my
share
phone
it.
can
You
be
can
free.
just read it from your phone, Yinka. Oh, okay, so that your phone will be free. All right, I understand now. Hmm? Tell I'm in my meeting. Mo ń wá school song here.
Bimbo,
Hmm? Funlola, how
how are
now?
you? How is everything?
Welcome. Ẹ fi kò ní ẹ ó tiẹ̀ ti wọ fẹ́ wọlé ṣáájú mi pàápàá.
Ah, yes, so I don't like to know. You know me now. I'm preparing. Okay, let me discuss it. Yeah, better, better.
I don't forever. So Funlola is usually a very easy program, nothing serious.
No problem. I've just jotted down a few bullet points and everything, but as you said, it's a natural flow. I have only 20 minutes, so we have to be
Yeah, just tell us your story. That's all.
okay. No problem.
Be authentic. And I know your story, so I know that there's a lot to learn from it.
Is,
So
is there a lot to learn?
there
Okay.
is,
I
Funlola,
don't
there is.
I don't know how you even chose me. Oh. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know how I fit into this, but
Isn't that how we all feel?
uh I don't know how you chose me inside this thing, but we'll do it.
That's how we all feel all the time. So for
Are we going to be on time? There are only
well, we
five
are,
people here.
we are. Because what I do, I want people to get used to us being on time.
It's better, I don't like to waste people's time, and I don't like people wasting my time. I don't like it at all, at all. So
Because once if we're not on time, then people won't take one
they won't take it
seriously.
seriously. Yes, they won't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Our set two, we have something that we do this Zoom monthly talk on different topics
Topics.
like that. Yeah,
We this one is not my set too.
I know this is not your set. It seems like it's the secretariat, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. This is
Wọ́n
Yinka.
sọ
What's
pé it's
Yinka?
telling me that my Yinka Meadows is on the. Yinka
Ah,
Shomoye Money.
àbí o, mo ń wo orúkọ yẹn but picture yẹn ni mo wá wò pé this is Yinka Meadows now. How are you, Yinka? How is everything?
Hi dear, long time. How have you been?
I'm good. I'm good. Oh, we thank God for His mercies. Oh, we are here.
Honestly, I took my phone long. We
Thank
give
God.
God
Thank
praise.
God.
Well done. Well done. And thank you for honoring our invitation.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you.
Ah.
But what are you still looking for?
No, I was setting up, trying to do the PowerPoint skinny for the
Screen share.
screen. So let me share it for you, Katie, because people don't like. I mean, things like the school song. They sing one king, and we more off by heart. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Excellent. So that's it. That's it. That's it. What else do I have to?
It's a bit small though. The fonts are small. Can you increase the size a little bit?
Okay, now what can you see on the screen?
I can see unlocking entrepreneurial spirit. That's what I can see. But I can also see on the side the other pages. But I don't
No,
think
when
we
it's
can
time for
click
the
on.
other ones, I'll play them.
But when you come to the
If,
school song, okay, I guess the school prayer, okay,
like that, the school prayer, put it now.
yeah.
You can see
The
the school
size,
prayer better now. When
yes,
it's
yes,
time.
yes.
So like,
But the school song is
so
tiny.
I'll put.
You need to increase the font size when you get to the school song.
It's quite.
Even now,
Yes, even now.
it's quite small.
And the
Yes.
profile page
I
is
manage
also.
it very well. Ṣé mọ̀ pé me, I'm a digital dinosaur. Now try, they try.
Okay, okay, try go.
There's nobody. Is
Oh,
there
try.
anybody else here that can hear me? Because to redo it, wahala
No, don't, not at this time. We don't want to do something like that. We manage whatever we have, and we take it from
You
there.
have to manage it too. So that's it. That's as first speaker. That's her profile. So you can multi profile.
Okay. Although it's tiny, I'll read it from my phone. It's quite tiny.
Okay, hey, good. Because it's telling me that my internet connection is
Weak.
is unstable.
All right.
Yeah.
Who is coming on first? Bimbo,
Good
is it?
afternoon, ma. What? Thank you for coming.
Good afternoon. Who is coming on first? Is it Funlola or the other lady?
Good afternoon.
No, the other lady is
Other lady
speaking first.
first.
Nkechi is speaking.
Okay.
She's not here yet. Let me call her.
Nkechi Alade is a principal consultant. Business. Good afternoon, everyone. Please, can we please remain muted? There's a background noise. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. It's 4 o'clock. Still expecting her. She says she's online, but I can't see her.
Bimbo, yes, she is. I can see her name. She's there.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I can see. Why am I seeing only 6 people?
Alade, she's there.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Welcome, Nkechi. Yinka, can you see everybody?
Hello,
that is here?
I'm here.
Oh, hi. Nice to see you.
Please, Nkechi, can you put on your camera so that we can easily locate you? Thank you.
Her name is on the screen. Hi. I don't think I can see. All right, I think we should start.
Can you see her now? She's on.
I think we should start, and
she's on.
Yeah, and people will join us as they come.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Senior Laila.
Good afternoon.
I don't know who else is here. I can't see all the participants. But good afternoon. Thank you for joining. Abiola, good afternoon. Amara. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Ma. Senior Fentola. So we're going to start with the school song, the school prayer. Thank you, Ma. Welcome. So we'll start with the school prayer. We'll say it together. Oh Lord, I think we can unmute for that. We're not many yet. So.
Okay.
Oh Lord, by whose manifold grace, them that love thee, establish with praise that thou hast wrought in us, and make it feel the Lord as that whatsoever things are true, lovely, and good report, may there forever flourish and abound. Preserve in it an unblemished name, enlarge it with the wider youthfulness, and exalt it with the love and reverence of all its members,
as an instrument of thy glory.
Amen. 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 Thank you. We'll do the full song as well. I think we should do the first and the last stanzas. What do you think?
Yes, please. Go on. Yes.
Somebody's screen.
We'll
Somebody is making noise.
stanzas.
There's a noise from someone's computer or system. Can the person identify themselves and please try to correct it? Thank you.
Thank you. So pass on the torch till bright beginning, pass on the hope, the earnest dreaming to those who follow close at hand. Pass on the thoughts, the skills,
the learning, pass
we
on the
pass
sea.
on the secret in most yearning that they may be
Field where
we have now. Pass on the song,
pass on
pass on the torch, the cry inspiring unites us here in hope untiring. In bonds no future, yes, and ever. We forward press, not backward turning.
that is
That
our
much more brightly burning, may it pass on and on
yet
forever. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. This is one in webinar series powered by the mentoring committee of the Queen's College Old Girls Association. My name is Abimbola Kinkugbe. I chair the committee. We've after some deliberation come up with a few topics that we feel will be impactful to us as old girls. We have some for the current students of the school, but we felt that there are a few that would be relevant to us as old girls of the association. And so this one is titled Unlocking Your Entrepreneurial Spirit. What we've done is identified two old girls. We tried to bring from two like generations, if you can call them that, young person and old girl as well, so that they can share experiences with us. And we hope that it will be enriching. There's always something to learn from everybody, and I'm sure that there'll be a lot to learn today. I'm familiar with Mrs. Funlola Jolaoso. She was my own senior in Queen's College, and she's an Egbo to me, and a colleague in the industry. We're both architects as well. And I know that she has a lot to tell us. And I'm sure the same for Nkechi as well. I'd like to hand over to Mrs. Yinka Shomoyeni Meadows, 1983 set. She's going to be anchoring the meeting this afternoon. Thank you, Yinka.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, Bimbo. And I say welcome to every one of us. Just like Bimbo said, this is the webinar series anchored by the mentoring group of Queen's College Old Girls Association. If I'm correct, I think this is our third one. Bimbo, am I right? This is the third series we're doing, and our focus today is unlocking your entrepreneurial spirit. But before we go into that, we just want to have a little bit of icebreaker, and I have some questions here. Bimbo, can you share the screen, the questions? Will you be able to share it, Bimbo?
So you know that you're going to ask the questions.
I
You're going to ask the question. Like the sharing the screen.
Yeah, just if you can share the first slide of the question. Okay.
I don't have it on my system.
Because they are long sentences, so I hope people will be able to hear. All right, let me try. The first question goes like this. So please, let's see what we get it. A boy is walking down the road with a doctor. While the boy is a doctor's son, the doctor is not the boy's father. Then who is this doctor? Let me take it again. A boy is walking down the road with a doctor. While the boy is a doctor's son, the doctor is not the boy's father. Then who is the doctor? If you know it, just indicate, and then I'll call you with the hand icon. You want me to take the question again? A boy is walking down the road with a doctor. While the doctor is a boy's son, is the doctor's son, the doctor is not the boy's father. Then who is this doctor?
That's a strong one.
Biba, can you put your hand up? Ow. That's Ojoro. Who wants to try? I can't see any icon.
You look at the answers, honestly, but I won't.
Who wants to try?
Boy is working with the doctor. The doctor is the boy's son. But the doctor is not.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Senior Lila.
No, I'm trying to unravel it in my head.
Yeah, my head.
The boy is working with a doctor, while the boy is not the doctor's son. The doctor is. Okay, let me take it again.
Yes.
I think I'm getting confused.
Confusing. It's very confusing.
You have to read it again.
Hello, Yinka, let me help you. I think you're hanging, but let me read it. A boy is walking down the road with a doctor. While the boy is the doctor's son. I didn't hear you. No, I was reading the question again. So you can read it again, Yinka.
All right.
Go ahead, we can hear you now. You were hanging.
It took me off the other one. All right. A boy is walking down the road with a doctor. While the boy is a doctor's son, the doctor is not the boy's father. So who is this doctor?
His doctor.
Who is this doctor?
Doctor.
His doctor.
Yes.
It's his doctor.
Yes. We established who is the doctor to the son?
A friend?
A friend, whatever.
Answer from
Funlola wants to answer.
Funlola, please go on. Oh, Abiola, go on.
A friend to the doctor?
No. Abiola's hand is up. Abiola, please go on.
Is walking down the road with the doctor.
Yes.
The doctor is not the boy's father.
Yes. But the boy is a doctor's son.
It's his mother. To say that I agree with Amara and Yogu on the chat. I think it's his mother.
Yes, it's correct. You're very correct. It's the mother. It's the mother. Thank you. I am the beginning of sorrow and the end of sickness. You cannot express happiness without me. Yet I am the happiness without me. Yet I'm in the midst of crosses. I am always in risk, yet never in danger. You may find me in the sun. I take it again. I am the beginning of sorrow and the end of sickness. You can never express happiness without me. Yet I am in the happiness without me. Yet I am in the midst of crosses. I'm always in the risk, yet never in danger. You may find me in the sun.
What are we looking for?
You're the letter F.
F. Is the letter
Oh, you
F.
are correct. You are correct. Well done. Well done. Okay, let's take one more. I am always on the dinner table, but you don't get to eat me. That one should be easy. What am I? I'm always on the dinner table, but you don't get to eat me. What am I?
Many things. Cutlery.
Fabiola says cutlery. Oh, yes, plates. Someone has gotten it. Plates. Plates. Serving plates.
Nice. Okay.
Could be cutlery too.
Yes,
Yeah.
cutlery can also go.
It could be cutlery, it could be a glass. You never get to eat it. Well, the dinner table, a plate, more like.
Yes. Okay, let's see. I don't have eyes, ears, nose, and tongue, but I can see, smell, hear, taste everything. What am I? I don't have ears. I don't have nose and tongue, but I can see, smell, hear, and taste everything. What am I?
Can't be the eyes, because you said you can smell and taste.
Yes.
She smell, tasted. Can you repeat it, please?
Okay, let me go back to the question. I don't have eyes, ears, nose, and tongue, but I can see, smell, hear, taste everything. What am I?
My senses.
Almost there, almost there, almost there. Just a word.
Hey, equity?
No, something to do with senses, something that triggers senses. Let me give you a clue. Something that helps us to think, see, smell.
My brain.
Your brain? Your brain?
You're correct.
My brain?
You're correct.
I got
Well
it.
done.
I got it.
Yes,
Brain,
you did.
yes.
Okay. The last question, and we're going to the session for the day. Jimmy's mother has 4 children. She named the first Monday. She named the second Tuesday. She named the third Wednesday. What is the name of the 4th child? I take it again. Jimmy's that one should be has 4 children. She named the first Monday, the second Tuesday, the third Wednesday. What's the name of the 4th child? Very good, Abiola. Jimmy. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Jimmy?
Yes,
Yes.
Jimmy.
Jimmy's
mother has 4 children.
4 children. Where is Jimmy now? Well done, well done. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Okay. I think we're ready to go into the session of today. And just like we said, we're here to learn about or share, listen and share experiences with 2 of our former students in Queen's College. Are here with us this afternoon to share their experiences, their entrepreneurial journey with us this afternoon. And first, we want to have on the floor this afternoon our dear Nkechi Alade from the set of 2006. So I'll quickly read the profile of Nkechi. Nkechi Alade is a principal consultant and founder of Elvarida, a business development and consulting company, established and dedicated to building African businesses at all levels. The and large-scale businesses. The impact-driven firm has also reached over 500. It's been both there. Okay, I was going to say share the screen. Has reached over 500 businesses with its free courses created to empower SME. As the founder of El Barida, Nkechi says the power of entrepreneurship and his abilities to revolutionize Africa and his motivation to help people find their true. Sorry, this screen is just too tiny, so I'm trying to read from my phone. And it's equally tiny. So please pardon me. To find their true identity and make money out of their passion. A passion for business building dates back to the time at Babcock University, where she obtained a bachelor's degree in business administration and management. During this time, she began to learn how business operates to better outputs and began a foray into business consulting. She's worked in various fields, including human resources and finance. Her experience across these industries reveals fundamental business problems, specific and non-specific to the African terrain, including inadequate markets, research, lack of planning, poor customer service, and human capacity challenges. Nkechi also founded and runs a platform called Connect 360 Africa, which was established to connect entrepreneurs across Africa for the purpose of networking, collaborating, and building their businesses. She's a Tony Elemelu's Foundation, TEF, mentor, and has been selected to represent Nigeria at the Global Young Leaders Conference in the United States of America. She possesses strong underlying competence to get results in a proactive, versatile manner with variable leadership skills. Our interests range from entrepreneurship to waiting, sorry, I can't see that, to writing, and she remains determined to call the shots in the field of business development in Africa. Please, can we just welcome Nkechi Alade to the floor with just a silent clapping. So please.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody.
Good
afternoon.
Can we mute our phones, please, so that we can hear Nkechi?
Okay.
So the floor
please,
is
I would need to. Okay. Please, I would need to share my screen. So please, enable me to share my screen so that I can, share what I have here for everyone to see.
Okay, Bimbo, please, can you assist with that?
Yeah, just give me a few minutes. I need to.
While you're waiting to share your screen, can I just meet you briefly apart from what your profile has said?
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to all the amazing women here. My name is Nkechi Alade. An ex-QC girl. Yes, I finished from Queen's College in 2006. When I left Queen's College, I went to Babcock University where I studied business administration. I worked in government, I worked in places like ECOWAS, I worked in human resources, I worked in finance, but I found that my gift was really to help people to sort of better their businesses, find solutions to people's businesses. And that led me to sort of building my own, which has been ongoing now for 5 years. So my goal really is to be the backbone of every entrepreneur, every business that is driven to achieve set goals and objectives, to help them drive, because we've been able to find that most businesses do not succeed because they lack the fundamental structures. A lot of people are in business really because they want to make money, which is great, but money cannot be your only driving force, because if you are not bringing value, if you don't have a clear purpose, then unfortunately you might not be able to meet up with your financial goals. So we'll just get right to it. Thank you. I see that I can share my screen now. Please, I would go ahead with that. it will take off this screen and I would share my screen with everyone now. Okay. So the topic that was shared with me was around unlocking entrepreneurial potential as a, as a person. I'm relating it more to women because I understand that this is, the Queen's College platform, and people of different age demographics are going to be on this call. So the idea is for us to go on this journey like we have no idea what entrepreneurship is, or really we're trying to start a new business. It's nothing too technical. It's nothing that we probably do not know, but sometimes when it's time to take those steps, we're not sure how to go about it. So this quote is one I really like, which says, all human beings are born entrepreneurs. Some get a chance to unleash their capacity. Some never get the chance. Some never know that he or she have the capacity, which is true. Entrepreneurship, people have defined in so many different ways. For me, I would say an entrepreneur is a starter, an entrepreneur is an initiator, a challenger, and a driver, someone who creates something new, right? It could be an initiative, it could be a business, it could be a company. He or she is the beginning and sometimes the end of a venture, project, or activity. The entrepreneur might not be the ideator, however, he or she is definitely the one that decides to make that idea a reality. So a lot of times you might find that you have this great idea, but you're not doing anything about it. Until you actually start to do something about it, then unfortunately you cannot call yourself an entrepreneur. We might have to take things a little bit fast because I know we don't have so much time, but please, if I'm too fast, please just let me know to slow down. So the next question I would ask is, what does entrepreneurship mean for you as a person? People want to become entrepreneurs for different reasons. For some people, it's freedom. For some people, they're following their passion. For some people, it's status and recognition. For some people, it's financial rewards. So, in building your goal and building that vision of becoming an entrepreneur, one of the things you need to do is really identify what exactly it means to you. What does it mean for you as a person? Why do you want to go into entrepreneurship? And I would also like to drop it here that to unleash your entrepreneurial potential, you need skills that you didn't learn in school. Now, this is something that a lot of people struggle with because no matter how, experienced you are, how many years you have, if you don't understand certain skills about entrepreneurship, which are very basic most of the time, you might find it very difficult being able to thrive as an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship humbles you. Entrepreneurship teaches you. Entrepreneurship makes you become who you didn't even realize you could be. It makes you find aspects of yourself you didn't even know were possible. So in order to really become an entrepreneur, you really need to open up yourself. I like to say that you need to open up your mind. You need to unlearn certain things that you have learned. And to do that, humility is required because you know these things, but you don't realize that you don't know it from a business standpoint. You might have worked in a corporate firm for 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, but you've always been behind the scenes. The moment you start to lead, things will change. You not start to see things as a leader. You start to think about your market, your consumers, your pricing. You start to think about your staff. So things change, the dynamics change, they switch immediately. And those are some of the things that they don't teach us in school. So I'm just going to take us through 5 questions we need to ask ourselves to help us unlock our entrepreneurial potential. So the first question is, do you believe anything is possible? Entrepreneurship involves a lot of risk taking. So if you don't believe that certain things are possible, if you're not a positive-minded person, if you're not one person that believes in, more like almost like believing in the impossible, it sounds like it's a lot of words at the same time, but to be an entrepreneur, you have to believe in these things. Because think about it. If you want other people to believe in what you're doing or believe in what you're selling, if you don't even believe it's possible, then why should they? So this is a part that I've seen a lot of people struggle, because if you don't even have the right mindset, if you don't even understand that, look, this thing I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, this is what I believe, you can't convince anybody. If you're trying to sort of bring in partners, you're trying to get investment, you're trying to go for funding, how do you get people to believe in you if you don't even believe in what you're doing? So the first question you need to ask yourself, if you're really on this journey of entrepreneurship, is, do you really believe in what you're doing? Do you believe that the solution you're bringing is viable? Do you think that anything is possible? Do you believe that change you're bringing is really going to impact your industry? The next question to ask, the next question to ask is, do you believe that you're capable? Now, I would say this from 2 different perspectives. As a person, most people are not raised to believe that they are capable of accomplishing certain things, right? But when you go into entrepreneurship, you need to be able to understand what your capabilities are and start to believe in yourself. Nobody's saying that you need to be perfect. However, you need to know what you're capable of doing and believe in yourself that you can deliver at least to a large extent as excellently as possible. For women, I would say that in my own personal experience, I've seen that women find it harder to believe in themselves because not everybody is raised to have that confidence level to be able to compete with their male counterparts. So it happens in the workplace, in the corporate workplace. It also happens in the field of entrepreneurship. I'll use myself as an example. I'm a consultant. I go to pitch. I go for, to defend proposals and all of that. And I found that in the beginning, it was a bit difficult to sort of compete with what my male counterparts or, were coming in terms of figures and but I had to work on my mind because I realized that in entrepreneurship, mindset is everything. The way you see things is the only way you can see it. Nobody can see it in a way that is different from you. So I started to work on my mind. I found that also when it comes to recruitment, because we do a lot of recruitment as well, you find that the same role, a woman is asking for, let's say, 100,000, the same role a man is asking for 400 or 300,000. So I found that there was a mindset shift that needed to be done. So when I found myself working with or speaking with female entrepreneurs, I'm talking to them more from a place of mindset, more from a place of believing in yourself, more from a place of you can do this, you have the value, you're bringing value to the table. Yes, you're going into business maybe because you want to support or you feel like you just need to have your own personal income, but it can be bigger than that. It all depends on what exactly you see and how you want to drive that. So I'll move on to the third one, which is your purpose. So why exactly are you going into business? What is your why? There's a book that I would recommend, if you're trying to go into business to read. It's called Finding Your Why by Simon Sinek. It's a book that just really helps you see things from a different perspective. So if you're going into business just because you want to sort of be your own boss or have your own money, those things are like they're added. That shouldn't be your main focus. If you're going into business, you should ask yourself questions like, what value are you bringing? What problem are you solving? How does your own solution, how does it influence the already existing market? If you already have competitors, have you done more like a competitive analysis to see what is lacking in that market? How does your own product or your own solution, how does it fill the gap? How does it make the consumers or the potential customers, how does it make their lives easier? Does it make their lives faster? Does it make their lives better? So it's very important for you to ask yourself this question if you're trying to start a new business or you already even have a business and you feel like it is not doing as well as it should. Go back to the beginning and ask yourself that question, because sometimes we can get so lost in running a business. Running a business on its own comes with its own challenges. So if you're not able to remember the core value of why you started that business, you might get so lost in just trying to attract sales and trying to attract customers, when if you don't fix this problem, unfortunately, you might just keep on attracting the wrong set of people, and it seems as if you're unable to break even in your business. So the next question I'd ask is, how well do you recognize when you need help? So in the beginning, when I started, I said that to run a business, there's a level of humility that is required. And there's a level of self-awareness that is also required. So I always say to people looking to start new businesses that they should do a personal SWOT analysis on themselves. What are your strengths? What are your own weaknesses? When you're looking to hire people, you don't hire your strengths, you hire your weaknesses. You need to know what your personal values are. You need to know, okay, look, I'm good at finance, but I'm not good with design. I'm good at writing or research. I'm not good when it comes to marketing. You need to know what are those things you need to outsource. What are those things that are taking your time that your business can afford to give to a third party to handle? Because what happens a lot of times is that people focus on working in their business and not on their business. And what happens with that is that you focus on the day-to-day running of the business. You're focusing on confirming transactions, their complaints and all of that, but you're not working to grow your business. You're not working to network, build partnerships, leverage, things like that. So it's very important that you recognize when you need help and understand that there's nothing wrong with saying that you don't know something or you require help. There's nothing wrong with that. It just means business. And the business is particularly just that you should be very open to getting people to come on board to help you to take that idea from where it is now to where you want it to be. And the last question for here is how in business, when there's no customers, there's actually no business. There's nothing we can do about it. Without customers, there's no business. And one of the ways, or one of the only ways that you can get customers is by marketing. There are different kinds of marketing. There's online marketing, there's offline marketing. But when it comes to online marketing now, post-COVID, the world has changed. Most things are online. Most conversations are happening online. I mean, this webinar is online.
Sorry.
This webinar is online. So what that means is that people are leveraging technology, people are leveraging social media platforms. So if you don't know how to market yourself with these platforms, it's important you learn, because even when you have a third party, for example, handling your social media, your Instagram, your Facebook, you don't want to be solely dependent on third parties. What it means is that you should have a base knowledge of what you need to do to market yourself. Learn to talk to people, learn to sell your screen, practice in front of them, write out these things, say it from time to time, so that when you meet people, you're able to confidently say, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how what I do can help you as a person, can help you as a community, and all of that. So these are the 5 questions that I would recommend you ask yourself.
Please mute your phone
before you start a business. So quickly, as we go on, I will quickly take us through 4 steps towards breaking out as an entrepreneur. So now you've asked yourself these questions and you feel like, hey, I'm ready to become this entrepreneur that I've been wishing to be. So 4 of them, the first thing is you need to identify the things that you're good at or passionate about. People always say, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure what business I should start. I'm not sure whether it's for me. But I'll say take time to identify the things that you have realized you're good at based on your skill set, your passion, and your interests. So sometimes you find that maybe every time you go somewhere, a dirty place just freaks you out. You're not happy when maybe people are arguing, the place is dirty, or people are having relationship problems. Things that usually get you upset are things that maybe you are supposed to solve, right? For me, I found that whenever I found that people's businesses were not well put together, people were struggling in terms of structure, process, where do I start from? I just always wanted to help. I always just had the solution. So I was able to build a business around that. Then the second step would be to ask your friends, your peers, your family, what talent do they see in you? Sometimes people see things that you cannot see. So it's good to also, after identifying that your list, pick out about 3 to 4 people that you trust, that have watched you over a period of time, and hear what their feedback would be on that. The next step I would say is have a brainstorming session. Sit with someone that you think can help you further build your idea, build your business, build yourself, so that you're able to bounce off ideas, because 2 heads is here better than 1. And somebody who is objective, somebody who is not, doesn't have emotional ties to you or trying to make you feel good. So the person can give you an objective view and say, hey, what you're trying to do makes sense, but these are the pros, these are the cons, this is how we think you should go about it. And then finally, you need to evaluate, test, and implement your idea. I strongly believe in launching an idea in a small phase first, more like a beta test. Have a small market you test your idea on before you now launch it into a bigger market. So what that does is it helps you to understand what the problems are, hear first-hand feedback from your customers, and properly refine your product or your service before you launch it into the bigger market. So if we know these things that we want to do, the next step is now execution. So what do? I would recommend you validate your idea, you research your market, you write a business plan, and finally you source for funds. There's no business without money. So if I tell you that you have an amazing idea, you've researched it, there's a market for it, but if you don't have the money as well, that becomes another thing. Now, talking about money, I've also seen that a lot of people overestimate how much they need for a period of time, and then that stops them from ever starting. So my recommendation is, when you're here writing, validating your idea, researching your market, underwriting your business plan, how we write business plans is I like to create what is called a roadmap. So a roadmap would break it down into phases. So instead of everything just being so overwhelming and you're like, where am I going to start from? This thing is never going to kick off. We do it in phases so that the pressure, it doesn't hit you so hard. So if in phase 1, all you need to do is maybe you want to register your business, open a bank account, register a domain name, all of those things, buy your products for a particular amount of money. That's phase 1. You know that you have to accomplish certain milestones before you get into phase 2. That helps. So even when you're trying to source for funds, as a new entrepreneur, most of the time it's your personal funds, family and friends, and then when you have built some form of momentum, you can get some grants, you can get investors, but it's always important that you have a roadmap. People like to see that, you've accomplished this milestone on your own. Even if it's 3 to 5, 10 paying customers, at least you've made an effort. So we wouldn't want to just wait till everything is sort of perfect before starting, because that's what makes people to never ever start their businesses. So what would define your success as an entrepreneur? Your drive. Your drive is very important. What is going to keep you going? You need to make sure that you're constantly moving. You stay motivated and you maintain a positive mindset. Mindset is important because people will have opinions, people will have things to say, feedback might not be great, your staff might, get on your nerves, but you have to constantly find what drives you. I'm not saying that there won't be days you don't feel like doing anything. Those days will come. But even when they come, there has to be something that keeps you going. And that takes you back to your why. Why did you start the business in the first place? It has to be bigger than you. It has to be bigger than money. Because when those things come, something has to keep you going. I found that when people have made a lot of money in business, they sort of lose momentum because actually it was all about the money. But if it's bigger than the money, that's where you find that entrepreneurs that have purposes that are bigger than money. They keep moving, they keep driving, and you're like, hasn't this person made enough money? But it was never about the money in the first place. Also, for entrepreneurship, discipline is very important. I've personally found that it's the single most important trait that is required for entrepreneurs to achieve the goals they have set to accomplish. It is super important to be disciplined, to be able to say, okay, this is what I have allocated this time for, to be able to have boundaries, personal boundaries, business boundaries, just discipline as a word and as an act to help you to further improve yourself as an entrepreneur and as a business owner. Communication is also very key as an entrepreneur because you'll be speaking to people a lot. You'll be communicating verbally and non-verbally to your staff, to your clients, to your customers, to partners, investors. So you need to learn the art of communicating, whether it's business writing, whether it's via social media, every platform sort of has a different language. So you need to learn to communicate on these platforms effectively. Now you can't run away from technology with running a business or becoming an entrepreneur. The world has changed. The days of just opening a brick and mortar store are gone. Even if you have a brick and mortar store, you must be able to replicate what you're doing offline, online. So you have to sort of build an online business model that works in conjunction with your brick and mortar store if you have one. I've even found that these days, a lot of online businesses thrive even better than the brick and mortar because people are now more trusting post the pandemic. People can easily go online and order things and believe it will get to them. Because during the pandemic, we had no choice but to order for things like food, clothes, home accessories and all of that online. So we have to leverage technology. You also find that people are able to build applications that help to further foster their businesses. So as you start entrepreneurship, you have to think long-term. How is my business going to be able to leverage technology to make it even easier for my customers or potential customers to access my goods and my services? Now, finally, I would say that you can become an entrepreneur at any age. And I love that entrepreneurship does not have a start or end date. So I put these people here. KFC was started by Harlan David Sanders and he was 62. Vera Wang started her company at 40. Christian Dior started theirs at 41. Walmart started theirs at 44. So I mean, sometimes people think that you have to be 18 or 25 or 30 to start a business. No, you don't. It's in the people that whenever you wake up is your morning. So anytime you want to start your own business, you just have to have that core and ready to learn. Probably you have to hire people who are a bit younger and more tech savvy, who understand the market a bit better. And then you must be open to learn from them and learn that the market has changed. Things keep on changing every day. We can't say that because things were done a certain way in many years ago, it must be done that way today. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. We live in a very fast-paced environment now. People are moving fast. People want solutions faster. So to build a business in this day and age takes a lot more than one can possibly think or imagine. So that's really it for me. I've tried to sort of sum everything up here. And I would look forward to questions from the house. So that's it. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak. And I hope that it has been beneficial to you in more than one way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Alade. Please, can we just clap for her and appreciate her for that loaded, quick session? I know she was trying to rush everything down, but it was very, very detailed. Thank you for sharing with us this afternoon. Before we take questions, I want to invite the next person on the that will facilitate this session with us today. Um, She's, like we said before we started, like Bimbo said earlier on, she's should we call her a senior? Yes, she is, because she's from the set of 1981. Her name is Funlola Jolaoso. She's a principal architect and managing director of American 3 Interiors. She has 2 bachelor's degrees, one in environmental science, the other in architecture. Bimbo, please, can you share a screen? Architecture from the University of Lagos.
We can't hear you.
Good afternoon, ladies. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to this session.
Funlola, I think she's still trying to read your profile.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Nkechi, can you make me a host again, please, so I can share my screen? Thank you.
Yes, I've done that. I've done that.
Give me up, so I need to go to the other one. Yes. Thank God for using 2 devices. Okay. Yes. Our company includes, where did I finish? Okay, where did I stop? Yes, our expertise includes commercial interior finishes for both corporate and residential buildings, with particular reference to ceilings, dry walls, partitions, acoustic walls, acoustic ceilings, design and build, office and store fit out. Our company, American 3, is into interior finishes like light fittings, partition systems, fitted kitchens, office furnishing, and finishing, design building of residential buildings, door and sale of building materials. American 3 Interiors is also a major supplier of ceiling systems, acoustic solutions for cinemas, theaters, auditoriums, partitioning doors, wet cubicles, light fittings, wardrobes, and so on. She's a sole Nigerian representative for Vanessa UK wash cubicles, Mars living walls, aluminum and gas partitioning systems. American 3 has done several impressive and excellent projects for offices, stores, homes, banks, and some of which are Ikoyi Club 1938. I think there's, why 1938? Maybe there's a mistake with that. Aluko Oyebode Building, Ivy's Hotel, Southern Sun, Civic Center, ABN Capital, and many others. She also has an online retail store for the sale of building materials called Joaquin Building Products Limited. Funlola is passionate about investing in real estate with special emphasis in land investment and sales. Please join me this afternoon to welcome Funlola Shuemimo to the session today. Funlola, welcome. Thank you for being with us this afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The floor is yours, please.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Yinka. Yinka has done the intro, so I'm not going to go into a longer introduction of myself. But yes, my name is Funlola Jolaoso ni Shuemimo. I graduated from the set of 81 at Queen's College, and I've been an architect for 30 years and been in business practice. I started my own business very early, 27 years, since 1994. So I basically learned through the ropes, and it was nice to have the Nkechi give us her presentation before, because a lot of the things that she said, for an entrepreneur, when I started, I didn't even know I had to do all those things. I didn't know half of all that. I learned on the job, made my mistakes and everything, and I eventually went to Lagos Business School 3 years ago. I did an owner management program, OMP 26. So I'm going to talk basically on a real life situation, not uh, the presentation, sort of presentation the previous speaker gave us. Now I started, like I said, I was working in Tarikoka from when I finished my NYC from NYSC, and I got into the place and I looked at the people ahead of me and I thought, wow, I'm not going to be here for a very long time. That I'm sure of, because I I want to I want to be yes, I'm an architect and I love being an architect, and I'm going to learn as much as I can from these people because I see that it's a practical trade. There's just when I got there, I was so shocked when I realized I thought I knew something, and I got there, I realized I knew nothing. They wouldn't even let me touch anything. They would give me toilets to detail and things like that. It was so boring. I thought, wow, how long am I going to do this for? So for me, I felt, I thought I was smart, QC girl, I've been to Unilag, I'm an architect. I thought I knew something, but I just felt I didn't know anything. Everything always, I realized with being an architect, there's so much more. You can't learn everything in school. There's so much more to learn in the practical terms. So I came to terms, I looked around me, the remuneration was very poor. And I immediately started thinking, because I've always had it in me. Even in school, I always wanted to do some form of business or the other. It was just my parents that were reining me in. So I started my business almost immediately. I was doing what I was doing in the office was there, but I started doing private designs for people, residential projects. Just, oh, can you design a house for me? Can you design this little bungalow? Do something for the church, that sort of thing. So I started my business right from while I was working. I recall that for my NYC days, there was a day off for community service, and I tell you, I had a project in Mina. I was so bold. The client will fly. It was a factory that I designed, and I was supervising the construction work. So the client will fly me out. I would do a day trip on that one Thursday. I would fly to Abuja, and the road was good from Mina to Abuja. Then the client they will send someone to pick me, a driver to pick me up. 2 hours drive straight to Mina. Spend an hour for a site meeting, inspection, and everything, and I'll come right back. I almost got caught. There was a day that the flights were very okay then, and they were regular, they were on time. But there was a day that I missed my flight and I had to spend the night. So I was so scared I was going to be in so much trouble getting to work the next day and everything. Anyway, fast track onto 3 years at Tarikoka and Associates. I gathered all the experience I could, and I started doing my professional exams because I didn't just want to be an architect on paper. I wanted all the certifications as well. So I did my NIA exams. I passed. I did my ACON registration, and that was it for me. Because while I was working, I was already doing private work. I got a job with there was a bit of like a competition project for the office fit out for Start Oil then, and I I won the job. I had to furnish their office, like 57 workstations. I had to come up with a design for the actual stereotype workstation and all that. And I thought, Funlola, you can't do this kind of job and still be working for someone. The money involved was so much. At that time, it was too much money for me to even think of what to do with it. I was living at home. I wasn't even married. I didn't have any bills to pay or anything like that. So I decided that, and it was just the same time, about the same time I was getting married. So once I just married, I just give a letter to them in the office that, oh, I now live in Ikeja. I can't, it's too much trouble to come to Lagos from Ikeja. So I'm going to have to resign. I didn't want to tell them that it was because I got a contract that I would not be able to handle with the office. And that's how my business started, took off. I was only staff and my driver. I did everything. I outsourced. I didn't even know that, it was going to be that difficult. But I started, and like I said, I learned on the job. At the time, furniture was banned, so everyone was looking inwards, and you had to design furniture. You use carpenters, you use factories, and all that to produce whatever you needed to do. But you know, as a woman in business, there's always extra challenges. You're married, then you start having children, and you're still trying to juggle this business at the same time, building the business and all that. So I found myself with a lot of challenges, but I believe that I always can. I have a can-do spirit, and I had a lot of zeal and passion for what I did. So I loved it, and if you enjoy what you are doing and you have a passion for it, if it makes money for you, you would do more, and the reward was there. So I decided to uh, basically do even more, expand what I was doing. And when you do business in Nigeria, you have to realize that sometimes some of these textbook solutions don't always work. You have to make your changes along the line as you go on, because government can bring policies that will just disrupt whatever you are doing. So for me, I went from being pregnant for my first child, having the baby, and by the time I came back to Nigeria, they had lifted the ban on furniture. So all the business went belly up very quickly, because people could now buy imported furniture which was finished, and there was better finishing, and it was cheaper than even what we were making from furniture factories here, and sometimes carpenters and all that. So all of a sudden I found myself, oh my goodness, what am I going to do now? So, but I'm an architect, so I went into full design. I was doing more design practice. I had architects. I trained more. We got more computers and everything to start doing the design business. But the zeal in me to still do what I wanted to do was there. So that didn't last for long. I immediately started doing more, and I realized that I didn't want to do personal houses, work for individuals. It came with too many challenges, having started working for corporate organizations. So I just started working for construction companies. I started looking for business from them, doing finishes for them, doing more commercial interior finishes. That's how we ventured into doing ceilings, partitions, and all that. So we worked on a lot of projects. The Palms, that was the first big mall, real mall in Nigeria then, and Kappa and Alberto was the main contractor, and because we've been doing a lot of subcontracts for them for ceilings and partitions and that sort of thing, they took us on board. We're the only black subcontracting firm on that project then, because then everybody was an expatriate, and I was female as well. Most of the time, when one gets into some of these sort of projects, I didn't have the confidence in myself that I could do it. But I didn't want to show the people I was working with that a lot of what the specifications they've given me are new things. I just went and studied about it, read it up. Now it's not now like now where you even had Google and all that you can do so much research online. I read up on what a drywall partition was, what this was, the different ceiling types that they specified. It was a South African consultant and all that were on the project. I never knew any of the specifications. All these ceilings they specified, I'd never come across them before. I had to study and learn, get brochures, contact the companies and everything to know how we would install this thing. But I never let the clients, the people that gave me the job, to know that I've never done anything on that scale before. But because I was determined and I had a passion for what I was doing, I tried to do all I could. I mean, it turned out well, but we did make mistakes along the way, which I learned in handling a large-scale project, how to manage people, especially Nigerian workmen, because people make promises, but when it comes to the actual execution, sometimes you feel like, I wish I could actually hold a drilling machine and do this work myself. They can drive you up to that level. But we got through that, and that built my confidence
Please mute your
further.
microphone. Thank you.
Okay. And that grew my confidence further, and I felt to myself that now, Funlola, if we can do this, Messen 3 can do even better. So it was after that that we actually ventured into looking at more specifications for the type of finishes that we use, that even the architects that are specifying don't even know about them. We introduced certain products and brands into the market, like the Knopf ceiling walls. And now Knopf is like a stable brand in Nigeria. But at the time when we brought them in, nobody knew the product. They were using other ceiling brands and all that. And we have several other brands like that we have brought in, introduced into the market and everything. And the spirit in me still, there are so many issues with execution in our work that people started asking for these products for us to sell to them. This is how I started importing. We initially just started importing for our own projects, but then I didn't have a trader mindset. I didn't want to be a trader, and lost so many opportunities as a result of that, because I was still thinking like an architect and like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. And I was busy introducing the brands to those that were trading in the market. And before we knew it, I didn't even think of making any deals for myself in particular. And then some of those products became big brands and all that. So I kind of learned some hard knock lessons there. And we started trying to build our own brand, which is Joaquin Building Products. I didn't start off having a retail store. I just started selling from my office and all that. And then eventually I decided, if you want to do this business and do it very well, a retail store would be the most ideal thing. And I went ahead and rented this space at the building materials market in Mushin. A few people that I spoke to, when you bounce your ideas off people, sometimes some people encourage you, sometimes people don't encourage you. It's like, how are you going to go from the island to Mushin? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, they're making money there. I'll try. I did open the store, but I was reluctant to go and be there. So I set up a structure, had a manager, everything. We had the warehouse that was feeding the store and everything. But I soon found out that everything went belly up, because there was a lot of theft. There was connivance with the storekeepers and the office manager and the manager at the store. So I decided to take the bull by the horns. That if you are spending money somewhere and you're investing in a business, you can't be remote control about it, especially in a place like Nigeria. So I decided to take the bull by the horns and move into the market directly. This was very recent, just before COVID started. And everybody was surprised. They thought I couldn't make it. I actually started going there when we had, I think they were fixing Third Mainland Bridge. It was the worst time to be going from island to the mainland and vice versa. But I did it. It could take me 3 hours sometimes to go, 3 hours to come back. But I sat there and I started studying the market. How is it that I have this store, I'm not making money? What exactly is going on? I studied the market. And I realized that, I was there with my store, nicely done up. Everything was nicely done up. Of course, it's what we do. So you can imagine it looked different from the other shops in the market and everything. And we had the whole floor. So we had nice display and everything. Yet we didn't make money. The people that didn't have any display, they were making a lot of money. So I watched the market for about 6 weeks. And I realized that, number one, we were pricing ourselves out of the market. we were not selling what the market wanted because the quality of what we were selling was too high and overpriced. I learned from those traders, a lot of them barely educated and all that, but they know the basics. They know the market, they know the goods. They don't even all import. I thought, oh, I had to have a lot of money, I have to keep importing before I can thrive in the market. No. 80% of people in the market, they don't even have the stock they're selling. And I realized that the margins are very small and they just go for the fast moving products, what the market wants. Once I realized that, I immediately changed my business strategy and I started looking for products that were made in Nigeria that could be easily accessible and I didn't have to wait the turnaround time for importation and all that. Not that we stopped the importation, but we started selling made in Nigeria tiles. And I was amazed that you could have an order that would come in as you're offloading your goods. Someone is ready to buy everything. Sometimes they're even ready to buy it before the goods arrive. You just need to say, oh, I have this coming in. How many, madam? They're ready to pay for everything. I'd never done that kind of business before. And I was like, oh, I've had this store for almost 5 years. I didn't know this sort of thing was going on here. If I didn't come and sit down here, I would never know that this was happening. Now, fast forward, I've been doing this now. At least I've done the cycle, even after COVID when we had alternate days to open the market and everything. Now we've established the name. People know that this is what we're doing there. We have the people in the market that we supply, that we feed. We also have walk-ins that come in. And we have, like the earlier speaker said, Nkechi, Alade, about the, you have to have an internet presence now and you have to key into technology that is going on now. So we also have an online store, which is undergoing redevelopment because building materials, they're expensive. So people have not yet shifted into buying those sort of bulk items that are costly online because the trust is not yet there. We've done some Google surveys and all that. So we're tweaking it and we want to start with smaller items that are affordable for people and it's not so expensive. Light items, still within the range of what we stock, but not the tiles, not the heavy things, because people want to see what they're buying when it comes to tiles. We're still working around it and to see the modalities. Eventually we'll get there because there was a time that Societe Generale brought in ATMs and people won't use it. Now, nobody can think of life without using an ATM. So people's perspective would eventually shift, and especially with COVID and what we've seen, what it can do and all that, people are more welcoming to virtual stores, buying things online, and my belief is that even for the construction industry, certain items would become staple items that people will be willing to buy online. We just need to work around the modalities to give the confidence to the consumers how you can do this. Now, I don't want to talk too much about myself as well. I also want to just give certain insights into, because being an entrepreneur in Nigeria, it's also it comes with its own challenges. We can have all these textbook ideas and everything. Oh, this is how it's done and all that. But every time you take a few steps forward, certain things will just come in that you never planned for, like government policies, like change in foreign exchange. You just wake up one day and you're importing in a certain way, then the government says, oh, now you have to do it is now a pre-shipment inspection, now is a destination inspection, without notice. You are constantly battling different issues. If it's the logistics, if you have a truck, that does deliveries for you. If it's not last mile, it's this. They're always, so you have to be very resilient to be an entrepreneur in this environment. And there are going to be many knocks, but if you don't have passion for what you do and you're not driven and it's just money, sometimes you can just get tired and be like, oh, I'm sure there are other ways that I can make money. So it's a nice place to be, but there are so many hard knocks along the way. But you can overcome the obstacles if you have a how would I put it? A resilience that comes with living in these climes. You're going to have staff issues, staff issues all the time. Even you need to train your staff. If you hire people that are how would I put, not very competent, you can train them to improve their skills, to improve in the business and everything. But you also run the risk that after you train them, once they get the hang of it, when they should be useful to you, they're out the door. So you can find that you keep training and retraining. Are you going to stop training people because of that? No, you're still going to keep training because you want your business to thrive and you need the right people to be in place to do that. So you will still keep at it, and you will also find that the way you treat your staff, I mean, these are part of the things that I learned in LBS, but I also had some of those in me before. You have to, irrespective of whether, oh, if I train them, they're going to leave, you have to be positive. So you have to make them to buy into the vision of the company, of the business, and not just make them feel like they're just employees. You discuss together with them, you ask their opinions on things and issues, make them feel important, give them certain perks that would make them feel like, oh, my company cares about me. Healthcare. It doesn't cost much to do health insurance for everybody. It just makes them feel like they're part of. Ask people's opinions sometimes. Just ask after their welfare. It makes them feel a little extra special. The way I believe that as an entrepreneur, especially once you start hiring staff and you have more than 5 employees, you need to actually, you don't have to be a big conglomerate before you don't even have to have an HR officer, but take the time to do the things that would make your employees feel part of the organization and want to help you to build your brand. Because even though you are the driver and everything, you can't do everything yourself. You need people. And because you need people, you have to make people feel like human beings. Also, another thing I wanted to chip in being an entrepreneur, sometimes you get driven, you're doing what you're doing, you're not checking what your competition is doing to see where, because sometimes you may even be the one that started the idea and people see, oh, you're making money from this, everybody else does it, and if you're not careful, they're going to be better than you. They're going to improve on what you are doing. They're going to poach your staff. Your staff will, if you run a business that people poach your staff, it says something about you. It says that you are doing a good job. You are the reference point. You have to make your mark. Make yourself. I don't want to copy someone. I want to do better. I want to be the reference point. I want to be the person that people would say, oh, this. You want to be the top 5 in the business that you're doing. Whatever kind of business, whatever kind of idea it is that you're running, always strive to improve on yourself. I mean, I read up, I would go for courses, I'll do whatever I can to find out what's the next big thing. How can we do this? How can we do this differently? Don't always be the one like you're copying what other people are doing. And then finally, I would like to put in that being an entrepreneur, doing my own business and everything, I've had a lot of personal challenges. And I know a lot of people that know me personally used to wonder how did you do it? Because first and foremost, I think earlier on, When my son was 3, I found out he was on the autistic spectrum. That was number one challenge. I had to work with that. It was like my whole world was falling apart, and there I was. I still had this business to run. Then we managed that, stabilized and everything. 2006, my husband had a stroke. It was all so much, and I had this business to still run. Sometimes I have to pinch myself and I wonder how I do it. But what happened was basically I just thought, you know what? You are either going to sink or swim. And I chose to swim. I chose not to wear my problem on my face. I chose to get help where I needed help, hire more staff if I needed to, hire the right people, do what I needed to do, and just continue like nothing happened. But I could be burning inside. I could be doing extra, but I still I made up my mind that I was not going to be a failure. I was going to make a success of everything. And God being on my side, it's very important. You have to have an inner spirit. There has to be a spiritual part of everything that you do too. I just decided that I'll put everything in God's hands. I'll do what I can do. Sadly, I lost my husband last year, and it's over a year now and all that. So, and it was during the COVID, and basically there was no business anyway. Now we've picked up again, and luckily I have a structure with my Messen 3 interiors, so I'm able to remove myself as much as possible. I have a manager. I have my tracking system. I have my measuring system to check what is being done and how things are being run and everything. But I tend to face the retail business more because for me, it's my a set retirement plan. Because yes, entrepreneurial yes, you don't really totally retire from it, but you also retire from it. I'm an architect. What I do at Messen 3 Interiors involves a lot of physical work, going to site, climbing scaffolds from time to time and all that. But with the retail, I don't have to do that, and I see the retail business as something that can even outlive me. If the online store takes off the way it's supposed to be eventually, then it would not require the kind of intensity that I need to do for the architectural interiors part of the business. So, well, this is where we are now. I'm going to round up here. If you have any questions, we'll take it after Nkechi Alade's questions. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Wow. Thank you so much. This afternoon is really loaded with our 2 ladies in the house. I want to say thank you, Nkechi. We've heard so much from you concerning believing in yourself. You must be positive-minded. You must constantly challenge your underlying beliefs and assumptions, to asking from your peers and your family members, what are your skills, what are your strengths, what is really your passion before you go into the business. And from you, Funlola, oh my word, somebody sent something here that you are such, yes. She said something about, what's it called? So proud of you. That's from Noli Ekpedeye. You are indeed a success and a role model to many women. On this platform, we want to convey our condolences concerning your husband's demise. We know it's just the Holy Spirit that's been keeping you, and will continue to keep you and strengthen you as you go through the journeys of life day by day. And from Funlola, we've heard from this afternoon. She said we should study the market. Don't be far away from your business. You need to be in the market to know what is obtainable, to know how, so that you will not just be running a business for others to make profit of you. She did talk about building a team. No matter what we say, other people say about, oh, you train someone so much, they leave. But at the same time, for the good of your business, while the person is there, you need to build your team well. You need to build your staff. He said you shouldn't wear your problems on your face. And obviously, it's showing on her. We want to thank God for the grace of God upon your life. And she said especially that you need to make up your mind. You need to choose either you want to sink or you want to remain afloat. And because challenges will always come, is how to overcome the challenge you should look at. So thank you so much. Thank you very much. We're now ready to take on questions. You can indicate by using the hand icon, or you can write it in the chat box, right? And please, let's send in our questions now for either Nkechi or Funlola, and then so that they can quickly attend to it before we round up the session. While the questions are coming in, I think Funlola tried to talk about it briefly when she was sharing her life experiences. Because when I listen to both of you, you're both female, you're both entrepreneurs in a kind of, apart from being in Nigeria, in Africa, in a male-dominated field. Has there been any peculiar challenges for you? The question is for both of you. And as a female entrepreneur, and how have you been able to overcome it? What advice do you have from someone who is a female that is going to, especially to a male-dominated field, how to overcome the challenges that the person will face? Did you get that, Funlola and Nkechi?
Yes. Do you want me to go first?
Okay, please go on, and then we'll take Nkechi later.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, good question. Being a female in a male-dominated field, especially for someone like me in architecture and basically construction and all that, what I find is that, well, yes, people are a bit surprised and all that. And of course, you know, being a female in a male-dominated field, you have to make sure you do your work very well. You have to be excellent in what you do. There's no need for half measures because people are already going to think, oh, it's a woman. So we usually come guns blazing and we do well. But the problem I have encountered mostly is like when it comes to doing big projects, the men, unfortunately, especially they feel that they cannot do a deal with you. I mean, I'm being honest with you. Once you find that you are doing a project that is like over 100 million or something like that, like whatever that kind of amount is, depending on the time, I find that they would rather they know that it's happened to me several times, and from colleagues that I know, because usually the consultants that give out this, that recommend the contractors that will do all these subcontracts, they're usually male. The people that own the big architectural firms and all that. They know you are the one going to do the job. They know if they give it to Kappa and Alberto, Kappa is going to give you to do that ceiling or whatever. But they would rather not give you the job and give it to someone. I'm sorry, I'm not casting aspersions on people. They would rather give it to somebody else, a male that they feel they can deal with and cut deals. I don't know, maybe there's something about us women that they feel that they don't know how to approach us for commission, or I don't know what word to use, So I find that when it comes to a really, really big project, they're going to look for either a go-between or they cut you out totally.
And okay, thank you very much. Okay, please go on.
No, that's basically, and I know it's because I'm female. They would like to do a male paddy kind of I can cut a deal with this person, even if they know that person cannot do the job. Thank you. That's it.
And can I also ask that, can it be because they think, what can a woman need that sum of money for? You're not the breadwinner in the family, Yeah,
possibly.
Okay.
Maybe they feel, oh, this is too much money for her or what, I don't know, possibly.
Okay, thank you. Nkechi, do you want to share with us on that question?
Okay.
Thank you very much for the session. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
Okay, great.
Yes, we can.
Thank you very, very much. Yes, truly enlightening. Thank you so much for sharing. So in my own experience, I've seen that, yes, women don't particularly get paid what they deserve. And even if you demand for it, sometimes it's from a place of, why should you earn that amount of money? Because, the market or the people tend to still see women as, you're as a supporter, like from a supporting point of view. So if you're a supporting striker, really, what do you need that much money for? That's usually how it comes across. But I've also said that I've also seen a lot of women most of the time demand for less, and they tend to give a lot of excuses. Oh, I want to be paid this amount of money, and because by the time you calculate the that, you are demanding it because you deserve it. And really, it's a case of fighting for it. And sometimes I've had cases where I've said no to jobs, even just because they want you to sort of take on something, and it's not going to be befitting for that job. So from time to time, you need to make sure that you know that what you are collecting is you're worth it and you're going to be able to deliver. Because when you take on the job as a fraction of the job, they still expect you to do the whole works and go all out. So if really you think that whatever it's being proposed to you by whoever is not going to be sustainable for that job, I recommend you turn it down so that you don't get yourself into what you can't get yourself out of. Because women, we tend to be more emotional when we're making decisions when it comes to business, but we need to become more objective and really be able to state the facts and know, okay, this is what it's costing me, this is why I'm doing it, and if it doesn't fit, then I'm not going to take this job.
Thank you very much. So more or less, don't sell yourself short, and don't act desperate, If that job goes, another one will come on. Okay. While we're still waiting, there's a question here from Sarah. She says, "Do you have an association for female? Sorry, let me see. Yes, do you have an association for female architects that provide you professional support? If not, would you develop one to provide guidance for young ladies in that field?" You have a lot to share. I think that question is for Funlola.
Yes, we do. There's a female architect in Nigeria. We do have an association.
Okay. All right. I think that question is going to take me to the next one. You see, when it comes to business in Nigeria, especially, I've seen something about this tribe, the Igbos. They're very entrepreneurial in their ways and their businesses and whatever. And if you look at their lifestyle, most often time they bring someone in to kind of train in the trade before setting the person up. Do you think now when we look at it in a corporate sense, in a professional way, is it better to have mentors for anyone who wants to start a business, who wants to be an entrepreneur, to understudy the person for a period of time before launching out? The question is for both of you, but let Nkechi take that first. Okay. Nkechi.
Yes, I heard you. So your question, if I'm correct, is how importance of mentors. Is it important to have mentors before you launch your business? I would say yes. I would say yes, because you cannot, there's so much you can learn on your own, but learning from another person's experience is better than learning from your own experience. Having somebody that you can ask questions, learn from. I have amazing mentors that I learn from, that I seek advice from, that I talk to, because it's important to build. You can't know everything yourself. You can't learn everything from school. You can't read everything in books. So if you can have identified, I believe in having mentors for different aspects of your life. So of course I have, business mentors, spiritual mentors, marriage mentors, people that I respect, and I believe that they can lead me in the right direction in those areas. So yes, I truly, truly, truly subscribe to having mentors that can help build you in your field of work, in your line of business.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Nkechi. Funlola, do you want to add to that?
No. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Yes. Do we have any other question? We're almost at the dot of 5:30, which we have to close off. And are there any other things you want to share with us that you think you have not said, or if we have anything to ask them before I tell Bimbola to take over. Okay, there's a question here about succession in businesses. Yes, that's true. Because most often time you see a business that is doing well, and once the visionary of the business retires or dies, it's as if that's the end of the business. So how do you build up for succession in businesses? So maybe let's Funlola start on that.
Yes, that's a very good question. Succession in business is very important. It's very key. If you want to think of, oh, how do you see your business? You don't want your business to die with you, so you have to put in a plan in place. How does it? How if I pass on, who is going to handle my business? But if you don't have a structure, you can't do that. For me, for example, uh, I have always, like, my kids, I try to push them to study architecture. None of them did, so there's no way in that field. But the retail business that I have, everyone comes to Mushi Market when they're on holidays. They come, they see what we do, they know how we do it. My daughter that is in America, she's involved in the business, and she studied marketing. So I'm always discussing with her, this is how we're going to do the retail store. How do we do this? What do you think? I send her surveys to help me get filled and all that. And she's interested in the business enough to know that, okay, if we have this online thing, this retail store thing, I am ready to be part of it. So if she's going to be part of it, at least, and I'm putting her through, I make her sign certain documents, I send things to her, so she knows that, look, ultimately, you may do anything else you want to do, but you are going to be part of this business as well. Even if you're doing it remotely, you must always key in to know what we're doing and all that. So that's my own succession plan. I mean, I know for sure that Messentery Interiors, it's too much of a hands-on business. It's difficult to establish it to the point where someone else is going to take over from you and all that. So I'm not even, especially in the Nigeria, I know I put in too much. It's not even a retirement plan for me myself. So I don't know that I plan to take it further. The business I plan to take further that will have successors is the retail business. Thank you.
Aspect of it. Thank you very much. For Nkechi, this question is for you. Can you tell us what services you offer to small businesses, SMEs? What services do you offer to them?
Okay, so for small businesses, we offer services ranging from business plans to research to recruitment. Recruitment is really core because without the right people, you cannot scale, you cannot grow your business. We also do trainings for them. Small businesses, we also do, courses, coaching plans, because we try to make it, as they're small businesses, there's a limit to what they can afford per time. So we try to build these services and packages for them to enable them thrive. So trainings, recruitment, business plans, research, structure, which is very important, which is what Ms. Funlola has spoken about, because without having structure, documenting your processes, your business cannot outlive you. You wouldn't be able to do anything apart from running on your business 24/7. So we build processes to help businesses automate so that everybody sort of has their function and the business is able to achieve its goals and objectives.
Okay. I think it will really be nice if we have your details, yours and Funlola, because I think somebody else asked to ask for Funlola's details and also yours, so that if we can share with everyone on the platform, so at least if they have other questions for you and how they can, you can advise them further. Does someone want to talk to us about, I think somebody mentioned it briefly, about money. How do you source for money? How do you, I was at a session yesterday, a pitch session, right? And we had a panel of about 5 of us, and then we had this do their pitch. And we saw, I was really proud to hear, wonderful ideas from our youth coming up. They've done their research well, and there's so much passion, there's so much drive and whatever it is. But they are there looking for money to assist them or maybe pump into their business. So how do we go about, especially in Nigeria right now, we're having, we're in recession. How do we go about, supporting or making it possible for these young ones or whoever it is that wants to go into business and has done the research well, how to access money, funds for the business? Do you have anything to share on that for us, Miss Funlola?
Can you say that again? 1 second. The sourcing for
Yes, I
money
was
to
talking about
run. Okay.
funds for
Okay.
ones to
I
go into.
actually wanted to mention this earlier after Nkechi spoke on this funding. Especially when you're just setting up a business, depending on the kind of business. I don't believe that it's all businesses that you start off that you need money to start it off. It's actually, if it's a service that you are providing, you may not necessarily even need to have a lot of money. You have to put something into what you're doing. I mean, I'm not talking about like setting up a store that you're trading or you're baking or whatever. But if there are certain businesses that you can start without even getting a loan from the bank or taking money from others and all that. Different ideas. It may be an idea that you are actually providing a service for something. I mean, for example, when I started my business, I didn't start with money. I didn't have any money to start any business. I was just providing an intellectual service, and I was given a job to do. Do you understand? Of which I was now paid, and I used that money to execute the job. So it's not always, if you are providing a service, you may not necessarily, the business model may be about providing a service, maybe even starting a little baking business and all that. There's certain businesses that you start. I mean, I know someone that started baking small birthday cakes and everything. That's a big, I mean, it's a very big confectionery with store and everything. I mean, they do like almost over 100 cakes a day, and she didn't start a business with any money. I'm not saying that some of the things that you are talking about, they know, but there are SME programs that they give grants and all that. But I don't know how effective they really are in actually helping the youths and all that. It's difficult sourcing for funds apart from friends and family and people that believe in you. But before people give you your money, I mean their money to do something, they must see something that you yourself you've put into whatever you are trying to do. There must be something. Nobody's giving money away for free, even if they're friends and family and everything. You must have inputted something for them to see that, oh, you are creating something, you're organizing. Then they can now be part of it and buy into it and all that. And before you get, it's when, by the time people are coming to give you their money without you asking for it, you've already made an impact, and people see the future of what it is that you are doing, and they're ready to buy into it.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Please go on.
Yes. So they're ready to buy into it because they can see what you're doing, they can see where you're going. I mean, we have all the Bank of Industries and all that, but then you have to have had structure. It's not for, although I do watch their program on TV, and I've seen young people, I've seen people that Bank of Industry have given funds to that had not started the business at all. I don't know. I mean, if they're saying or everything they're saying is the truth, or they just because it's an advert. I mean, they always state it there that it's a sponsored program or whatever. So you know that it's Bank of Industry marketing themselves. So I mean, this is Nigeria. It may not all be true, but I've seen one or two that they've set up businesses for and they provided the funding. But I would not be able to say too much about that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Nkechi, do you have any information in regards of funding for SMEs or whatever, how to link them or
Okay.
startup?
So regarding funding, I will just use myself. I've accessed funding about 3 times for my business. So I would say yes, it exists, it's possible. And now for even for women, there are a lot of grants and investments that are more female, focusing on the female founder. They want to encourage the woman, the female entrepreneur. So it's really more from a place of research. And none of all of some of them are Nigerian, most of them are global. They are more international organizations that you can apply to, that are giving grants. There's some competitions going on online that you can apply to. So yes, those things exist, and I think that they are available. But there's no you can't emphasize the fact that people want you to make an investment in yourself,
Ah,
because if you don't believe in yourself enough to use your own money or spend your own money on yourself to develop your product or service, then of course it will be almost impossible for you to get other people to invest their own money or funds in you.
Thank you so much, both of you. I think the last question I have for both of you or any one of you that can take it up. Now I'm trying to think of myself now. And as much as we've talked about so much about our
Please, can we mute our phones? There's a phone.
we can't hear you. We can't hear you very well. It's not
Can
clear.
we mute
someone's
our
phone
phone,
on.
please?
Okay, yes, I said now, I'm a career person, and then I need to start thinking of my retirement and whatever. So, is it possible to still be a career person and an entrepreneur at the same time? Is it possible to marry both?
Very,
And how long can you do that?
very,
It's possible.
very possible.
How? Please.
If you listen to
So
my
please.
story, I told you that
Yeah.
I was working in a firm and I was already doing something on the side.
Okay.
You're a career person. What is your passion? What are you thinking about? Bounce your ideas. You even have the time to do that because you have a cushion. So you can look for what you are interested in doing. What light bulb ideas do you have? Write them down. You might be solving a problem. A lot of businesses start entrepreneurial business start from solving a problem. Oh, I see that there's a problem in getting A to D for this. Oh, I can provide this. That's it. So think about it. It can even be in everyday situations. Somebody came up with the idea of Uber. It solved taxi problems all over the world. In fact, some people don't even use their cars anymore. When they have to go to places where they know there's going to be a lot of traffic, you take an Uber, save my car. So it's a light bulb moment. Think of what while you still have what you're doing, you can, and you have to be ready to think in a different way because you're working in a structured environment. You do your own bit, but there are other people doing things to make it happen. Now, what you are going to do, you are going to be the everything. You are the HR, you are the admin. If it works, it works. If it fails, it's you. Everything. There's nobody, the box stops with you. There's nobody to hide under. So you know that every decision you take, you have to weigh them very well. And you can do a lot of research. Now, Google is your friend. It's easier to do a lot of things. Do your research, find out what you want to do. If other people are doing it already, if it's not a light bulb moment situation, then find out how would people react to this. Once you've done that, and then you test it. You cannot think. A lot of people sit down and say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. They have all the ideas in their head, they have all the answers, they've read all the books, but they will not do. If you want to be an entrepreneur, it's not about how many books you read. It's not about how you have said this, you have said that. It's not even about how much money you have. You can have a lot of money and fail in the business. In fact, too much money kills a business. Too much money always kills a business. If you have too much money, you are not thinking on your feet. You are not thinking of how to solve problems.
Make more.
Yes. So that's it. You really have to think about that. You don't even need too much money. Start first. The important thing is start. When you start, then you have started. So you can start now and make your mistakes and start learning along the way. You start. If you start now and it takes off, the business will tell you that you need to leave where you are. That's going to happen because you find out that it's taking more of your time. You are doing more for it and everything, and you start failing in your role, your present role. So you know it's time to go.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much, Nkechi, Alade, and Funlola Jolaoso. This has been a really interactive, enlightening, educative, what's the adjective again to use, session. And I'm sure it's worth everyone's while this evening, those who are on this panel with us. All we can say is we are so grateful for you coming to share with us about your entrepreneurial journey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And may generations always read more about you and learn from you in Jesus' name. Thank you. So over to you, Bimbo.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Funlola. Thank you, Nkechi. It's been a very, very enriching session. And I'm sure that everyone that has joined has picked one or two things to run with. If the session is recorded and it's going to be on the QCOG YouTube page so that people can refer to it and you can send it to people as well. If you want it to be sent directly to you, we'll forward it to the secretariat as well. And Nkechi's slides will be available as well. I'm an entrepreneur, so a lot of the things that were being said on both sides, I could identify with them. And there are just one or two things that I wanted to say about funding. I agree with Funlola that we need to start with what we have. So if you have a business idea, start with what you have first, because terrain is a bit tough with raising funds. But I also tell young people that the first thing you need to have is integrity. Your integrity is your currency that you can trade with when you start. If people identify you as someone who is trustworthy, who has shown a track record of being straightforward and trustworthy, you'll be shocked that people will support you, with their funds. But if they are the kind of person that if they give you money, you will run away, or they've seen things that you've done that show that you're not trustworthy, people won't give you money. I'd like to say that I'm a beneficiary of BOI funding. I will not say that it was easy. It's a very, very, very tough and long walk. But you have to have all your documentation in place. I know that they have a fund for, I think, 3 million and below, where you do not need collateral for. So you might want to explore that. All that they have available is on their website, but you do need a lot of documentation. You have to have your record keeping top notch to be able to access their funds. So it's been nice. Funlola, you told us about your lessons. I know about your resilience anyway, and I know your story. So which is why I'm glad that you came. And I just wanted people to know that, it can be tough. It can be tough, but if other people have done it, we too must try our best, and then not look too much at if you focus on what the problems are, you are never going to get up. And if you don't get up, you are just going to be there sitting on your own. Nobody's going to come and carry you. You are going to have to do it by yourself. So thank you for sharing that. I heard about focus, leaving Charikoka to face your work. I heard about pivoting, which is one thing I know that we need a lot in this environment. You must be able to rethink the business and go. Don't be attached or emotional or in love with what you are doing, you must be ready to rethink and run with what is new. I asked a question, but they didn't take it. I said, can you talk to passion as opposed to money? And I find out that, people tell a lot of young people that, just follow your passion as long as you love what you do. I heard a businessman, and I find that is my story, is that please look for what will make you money first. You'll be shocked that as you are making money, the passion for that thing will develop, and you really want to do it. But if you have passion and you're not making money, you are going to be frustrated. So I wanted to talk to that as well. I mean, moving to Mushin for Funlola couldn't have been something that was easy. It's not the most pleasant of environments. And then you are the people that you are dealing with. They are not people on your level as far as education or whatever is concerned. But you have to be humble. Nkechi said it, that you have self-confidence, you must be humble as well. So go where you need to go.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's really been fun. Thank you to everyone who's joined us. And we hope that you tell more people about our mentoring series and join us again next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Good night.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye. Oh, Bimbo, well done.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
Well done.
Fiabella.
Bye.
Wow. You go and continue.